In this episode of Mighty Car Mods, we are modifying this Volkswagen up. Welcome to another episode of Mighty Car Mods. Last episode, Martin successfully guessed my new car, which is a Volkswagen Up. He had a blindfold on, he went round and felt it in all sorts of different ways, and he managed to work it out.
Did you buy a two-door Volkswagen Up? Because if you did, I'll be so stoked. Oh, you did! You bought an Up! That's sick!
Now, overseas, they got an Up Turbo and they got an Up GTI.
So
we didn't get them here, Martin.
No, we
just got this, and now we don't even get these anymore. These are done.
Yep.
Now, I've driven around in this car a little while, and I'm just going to put it out there before I hear from my friend here. This is the best car to come out in the last decade. Any car, any category.
Why? Just tell us why. Can you give me like 5 reasons?
I can give you one reason.
5.
This is just one's enough.
Okay.
This is the only car I've ever driven that doesn't pretend to be anything it's not. It doesn't have a fake thing. It doesn't have a fake sound going in. It doesn't have fake wings and, you know, I'm trying to be this and that. It's just like, this is who I am.
So
love me as I am.
A Corolla's not trying to do that?
Yeah, because they've got robots on them.
Oh, okay.
This doesn't.
What about a Honda Odyssey?
No, but that still looks like it could be flying in space. They're still going, you know what, let's add chrome. Where's the chrome? Where's the pizzazz?
You could rephrase that to say this is the most boring car in the world in the last 10 years. But that's great. I'm all for that. You know why? Because that's a good base. Because we're going to upgrade and trade up with the stock parts and put some mad stuff on it, which is fun. This is sick. I love bases like this because the improvement you get on one of these when you go from start to finish is enormous.
That's true. That's true. How many people are modifying these in Australia? Basically no one, except anyone who's right now whinging in the comments going, I did. Basically no one. Overseas, over in Europe, the only real thing we're seeing is just people slamming them on coilovers and making them look dumb.
How mad were the ones we saw in Europe though? You and I were both losing our minds. The GTI ones, a bit lower with big wheels and big, like, so cool, man.
So I've obviously been on the equivalent of UK car sales trying to find like a crashed turbo one. They don't exist. Even the GTIs over there are £15,000.
Whoa.
£15,000, which is what, like $30,000 or something?
Yeah.
This here was $7,000. Owned by a German girl. It smells awesome. Like, not even joking. Have a smell. It smells sweet
like someone who
and
cares
European.
about their car.
Yes.
Like it's being kept clean.
It is in excellent condition, but she had to go back to Germany, and so it has not been serviced since the middle of 2019. So it's been sitting for a couple of years with the occasional drive. But
we should drive it.
We should drive it, and then we're going to come back and
should do a before drive.
Let's go for a drive right now, Martin. Get in there. Get in and
look
get
how
ready.
Comfortable it is.
Maximum comfort. The Volkswagen Up.
Do you love Volkswagens?
Wait. Now. 3-cylinder, 1 litre. How's the comfort?
The comfort is bellissimo.
What's interesting about this car, one of the other things that's interesting about it, there's no vents.
You know what's interesting about this car? That you like it. There is a vent. There's a vent on my left.
There's one vent
and there's a nice little painted bit of black dashboard that the audience can't see, but I can.
Yep. Manual?
Yeah.
That's all, man.
What I love about these cars is they manage to give you, in this tiny weeny car, so much space.
Room for 4
You get
adults.
in like a coupé thing that's supposed to be the ultimate driving machine, and you're just uncomfortable.
Yes. Yep, you are.
This is comfort, man.
Maximum comfort, and what I would say is that the only thing it's missing is just a little bit of zing. And I don't specifically mean zing with power. We're going to get to that at some point. I just mean it's not floaty, but it's a little happy on the boat. You know what I mean?
It's a bit boaty. Well, all the weight's up high, and I mean this is not intended as a sports car. It's not meant to have a sharp, razor-edged feel.
I'm going to give you the brakes need to be changed. They sound like an old man coughing. Here we go. Check this out. First gear.
5,000, 6,000. Red line. Ooh.
Traction control. Dude, traction control chopped you.
So there it is, Martin. Not a whole lot to tell you. It hasn't been serviced since 2019.
We should definitely
See if we
redline
can
it
chirp
then.
it.
Yeah! There was wheel spin!
There was wheel spin.
I'm so excited.
So anyway, Martin, let's head back to the shed now and let's modify it. There's a whole bunch of stuff that I've bought off the internet. Be honest. Be completely honest.
I wouldn't say it's up the top of my all-time favourite cars. Like it's up there in terms of its quality.
Don't.
And it's up there. I'm glad you like it because like you're obviously like really amped up about it. But I think it's awesome. I do. It's a good base. It's extremely unexciting to drive. But that doesn't mean it's a bad
uptight though,
car.
or does it make you feel relaxed?
It doesn't mean it's a bad thing. It just means it needs some upgrades.
Yes. And it's a little bit too high up in the air, isn't it?
Don't take away my joke.
No, I'm not. I'm adding to it, man.
Yeah, you're doing a good job.
Yeah.
Adding
We
it,
just got to make sure we don't turn it into a don't we?
Yeah.
Which is the number plate that I'll try and get through. I've bought a bunch of stuff on the internet. No one's modifying these.
We are.
I don't know what to do, but I bought some stuff that I think might fit,
Let's try it.
and we're going to install it
What
on
you're
the
saying
car.
is there's no recipe. So often there's recipes. This particular wheel on this particular spring on this particular coilover on this particular thing, they'll just
Rexy's,
work.
180s,
which
Sylvia's,
is
yes.
great. I mean that's fun and easy, and you don't have to worry about stuff not working. Sometimes when you are trying things for the first time, it doesn't work.
Yes.
So we're just gonna that might happen
We're
to
going to
us.
find out. You may have seen recently the video that we did on my STI, which was Wreck It. W for wheels, R for rubber, E for exhaust, C for coils or springs, K for kit, I for intake, and T for tune. Some of those things are not going to be available for this car, certainly not available in Australia, but some of them are. So, Martin, firstly, I mean, what we need to do is we need to remove the wheels, remove the suspension, remove the brakes, because all of that is getting
You've
replaced.
got all stuff to upgrade.
I do. So let's just start with that.
Mad.
When it comes to the performance of your car, and particularly small cars where you can't squeeze lots more power out of the engine, the Up is a perfect case for that. While some people do talk about doing engine swaps, it is very rare, and the gearbox that's in there can't really handle much more power than what is already there. So you've got to look at handling mods, which is wheels, tyres, brakes, suspension. So that is what we are doing today. In terms of wheel choice, there wasn't a whole lot of choice in terms of what was available here in Australia. And again, as Marty was saying, there is no recipe. I got these really cheap. They were like $100 and something. They're just some black spokey things that are probably a copy of something else, but they look like... They look like that. I think they look cool. They're little black spokey things. They will be wrapped in a set of Michelin Pilot Sport 4s, which Michelin sent us, and we've run these on lots of our cars with great success, both on the street and on the track as well. And I will be taking this car to the track and dominating some of Marty's nuggets in it. So we're going to jack the car up. Before these are going on though, we're also changing the brakes. The only thing that's actually noticeable about the quality of the car now is when you do put the brakes on, they feel a little bit gritty. And so I do have a set of, my little box of parts in here. I've got a set of Brembo I don't know where they are. I think I got some like Brembo discs, and I think I got some brakes. I don't know where they are. Anyway, if I can find them, they'll go on. We are professional. Let's jack up the car, let's modify it.
The first step is to jack up the car. We've decided to use our quick jacks for this, as the car's going to spend most of the day up in the air and we don't have a hoist. The first thing to go
In the bin.
are the factory wheels, so that we can test fit the new rims that I bought off the internet. This wheel and tyre combo is the widest that you can go once you lower the car without having to make drastic changes. And while they're off, we're also going to update the suspension and the brakes.
So while there is still a bit of meat on the pads, the actual disc itself looks fairly munted. Because this car, I think, kind of sat and then started, then sat and then started over the space of a year or two, and the car was located near the ocean, it's just all a little bit rusty and all a little bit scratched up. So we could run it like this, but there's definitely pedal feel when you put the brakes on, that there is this sense of like it's not gripping properly. So for the money, you know, in terms of like changing pads and changing discs, we're here anyway, plus we're changing the springs, so we may as well just change this while we're here and get this out. Well, it is time for morning tea. and I'm just enjoying my chia, goat milk, and some kind of vegan protein smoothie. And my acai bowl here.
Which I dropped all over the floor.
Delicious.
Sorry, mate. Oh, it's on your wheels, look.
It's because, though, you might have noticed Martin and I eat whatever car we're working on.
We do.
And we felt like this here was up food.
It is totally up food, man.
I just want to make sure I don't throw it up.
While little cheap cars like this often don't have the power to be super exhilarating in a straight line, they really come into their own when they've got proper tyres, brakes and suspension in the twisties. This is a super fun combination that took off in a huge way with the original Mini that saw massive success on racetracks all over the world. I need to access the top of the strut tower by carefully lifting up the cowling and making sure I don't break it. Then Marty and I are going to attack one side each to remove the brakes and then remove the suspension completely. Originally the plan was to install coilovers on this little nugget, but there were absolutely none in the country. And with huge shipping delays on parts from all over the world, we're just moving forward with what we have at hand at the moment. We have ordered a bunch of other stuff that is still in transit, so there will be a whole other stage of mods coming for this little Volkswagen up. The front took way longer to get out than we expected, possibly because it's also small and fiddly, and some of it was quite a bit rusty, unlike the rears, which can be removed entirely in around 30 seconds. To get these drums cleaned up, we're using a caramel wheel and a wire brush on a couple of RYOBI drills, along with a vacuum, so we can get off as much of this surface rust as possible, so we can give it a nice coat of black paint, which will look great with our new black wheels. Meanwhile, because this car hasn't been driven much or serviced in a couple of years, it's time to have a look under the bonnet and see what it is exactly that I bought. This is one of the stranger airboxes that I've seen. It actually doesn't even look like an airbox, and its intake is just proper P-plate hot air intake. So I'm sure there's some technology that makes sense. So the other thing is, without taking all of this off, it's really hard to get into there. So I used a little bit ratchet to go in there and blip, 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 blip. They were all Torques except for one of them, which is a Rusty Phillips. I don't know why. And so
Rusty Phillips sounds like a sex move.
I've got a couple of little things here. I ordered from Supercheap Auto the Mighty Cumwods Limited Edition Castrol Edge that's going in. I have got some spark plugs that, it's a little bit detailed to get them in there, but we're going to do that.
3 spark plugs.
3 spark plugs for the 3-cylinder. Got an oil filter, got a cabin filter. Now, some people, actually no one, puts intakes on these.
Oh, really?
People don't put intakes on them,
put one on?
and everybody talks it. Yeah, we don't have one. The problem is right now, you can't get anything. Yeah. If anybody's like, why didn't you get coilovers? Because they're £2,000 off the internet. Why didn't you get A, B, C, D, E? It has taken me so long to just assemble this basic stuff.
It's mad though, but this is good. I like getting a car, servicing it, make sure you know where it's at, finding any problems, fixing them, and modifying them.
Yes.
In stages. I dislike stages, but you know what I do like about stages? In between the stages, you drive it.
That's true.
And you learn stuff. You're like, oh, it's missing this, or it's lacking that, or this is better, or this is worse, because it does happen.
And for all we know, under here is completely and utterly filthy. It's brand new.
Oh, that's good.
I've
just worked out why this car has the name it has.
The Up. Why?
Because it's like Volkswagen, like up, like let's get up and go. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
No. Martin, I'm not going to change the air filter yet, but I am going to change, because people don't do an intake, I'm doing the performance filter. I'm not going to make any claims about this because they make their own claims, Martin. Increased horsepower, 50% more airflow. A little while ago,
just pop off?
Yeah,
Can we look at it?
You just pop it off.
Can we look at it?
A few years ago, Marty and I did a test of air filters versus performance filters. On that particular day in our conditions with that car, what difference did we see? Absolutely nothing. But it seems like a thing to do. And again, this was available, so we're going to put it in. I'm not going to make any claims about it though, because I don't know what I'm talking about. I'm going to see if I got the right one. Because it's a weird shaped filter, isn't it, Martin?
Look at that cute little motor in there. There's a weird filter.
Look at that. Look at that. What a weird thing.
That's a really weird thing.
I got the right one. That's good. So, wait on.
First, we've got to work out how to get this
That
off.
looks a bit different. Just you pull it up. Did you try pulling it up?
I did.
Did it come up?
Nope. Looks like there's something holding it in. Is there a bolt or something somewhere?
Nope,
You just yank it.
there we go.
Oh, there it goes.
Yanked and done. Now pull that.
Yank it up.
Pull that. Got a hose there.
Oh,
there it
cool.
is.
Oh, look at it. Cute little 3-banger.
That's gone.
Look at this little throttle. Look at the throttle. It's tiny.
It's like a motorbike, isn't it?
Yeah.
Anyway, so I'm going to change the spark plugs. I'm going to do the oil, do the filters, do the cabin filter, put in any of the stuff that I got. I got other things too, Martin. I've got lots of other things over there.
Turbo and a top mount cut a thing out there. Turbo at the back.
You can't do it. You can't do it with these gearboxes.
Oh, yeah,
That's why we've got to do an engine swap. It's coming.
Okay.
It's not. Might be.
Whenever we pick up a second-hand car, we always change the oil, spark plugs, and filters. It's really cost-effective insurance relative to the cost of even the cheapest car. And by inspecting the oil and plugs that came in the car, you also get some insight into what's going on inside the engine. It's also a good feeling knowing that these fundamentals are changed before the car hits the racetrack, which it will be hitting imminently in an epic battle against one of Marty's cars. Yes, there is an all-out nugget war on the horizon, and this time the stakes are going to be high. The ignition coils are near impossible to get out by hand, so the best bet is to spray some silicone around the coil shaft and then use the leverage of some long nose pliers to pop them out so you can access the spark plugs. With the old plugs out, it's time to install some brand new NGK plugs using a piece of rubber hose to gently wind in the plugs before putting a tool anywhere near them. This avoids the risk of cross-threading them. I'm wiping a tiny amount of automotive grease on the ignition coil to hopefully make it easier to get them out again in the future. Now I can simply plug them back in the same order that they came out. With the plugs successfully changed, now I can install the lower part of the factory airbox and install the performance air filter. In my opinion, I'm not confident that it's going to do anything for my performance at all, but it was in stock, so that's one good point. Playing around with this gooey air filter reminds me, I've got a piece of licorice that I put in my pocket a couple of days ago, I just remembered. Because the outside of that kind of looks like licorice. And it reminded me that that was still in my pocket. Got hair on it. And other stuff. It's delicious. While I've been busy eating whatever snacks I could find in my pockets, Marty has successfully installed one of the lowered springs, which is now going in the car. So I was about to put some oil in here and I noticed that it has an anti-funnel device that doesn't actually allow you to use a funnel. So maybe it's got some little Volkswagen bucket thing.
Do you know what that is?
Fill up with liquid. What?
Do you know what that is? A stitch up.
Okay, Marty's up puns actually need to go in the bin. In other news, I'm stoked to be using the Mighty Car Mods Edition Castrol Edge. Castrol Edge is the exclusive recommendation for Volkswagens when it comes to engine oils. It exceeds the standard specs, and Castrol and VW have been working together for years to maximise performance. In fact, if you check your Volkswagen oil cap, it'll probably have a Castrol logo on it. Meanwhile, Marty's getting me up ready for a basic brake upgrade. Now, most modern cars are going to have brakes that work fine for normal street use, but track days mean there's high demands on the car's braking system, and upgrades can range from just swapping out to a different pad compound all the way through to a complete big brake conversion with new components, braided lines, and performance fluid that has a higher boiling point.
Obviously, this car is going to be a project car that's going to be around for a little while, and I've got lots of very exciting plans for it, but the trickiest thing now is just supply chain issues with actually getting parts. So today is just very much a stage one of wheels, tyres, brakes, lowering. There's lots of other bits and pieces that are on the way that are not here yet. But we are doing a Brembo brake upgrade. So here you go, Martin. Look at that.
Tiny
it's a nice little bag. Oh, there they are.
They're neat, aren't they?
They're very neat.
Cool.
So there's that. And then over here,
I do believe that I have some other things that will help us stop, which is, oh, this one's heavy. Here we go. The discs. I think it's pretty cool that people make stuff for this car at all, but it probably is stuff that also fits on other cars, Polos definitely. And things like that.
Yep.
But there we go. So we've got some vented discs as well.
All right. Vented ones, cool.
Sweet.
Very good.
With the new pads installed, now we can move on to the discs. The cheapest discs you can buy are just solid metal. The next step up are like these, a vented design, which is 2 plates with space in the middle to allow airflow, which increases the cooling capacity. After cleaning up the discs with some brake cleaner, they can be installed on the car. There's a number of different disc designs and brake setups available depending on your budget, and we've done a lot of them, from our huge upgrade on the Mark 7 Golf R through to the 2-door STI, the VTEC Mini and our RB240Z, and you can check out all those videos on our channel. Next up, I'm pulling out the cabin filter and removing any of the grot and chucking in a new one. This is a must-do item when we pick up a second-hand car, and now from here we can finish off installing the suspension and the brakes. One of the mirror caps on the car has a split in it, so we've decided to remove them both, do a repair, and then give it a new coat of gloss black paint.
Little cars like this are not made for performance. I know my friend may not realise that, but that's actually the case.
You're one of the most well-known people for little cars.
Yeah.
You brought in a mirror and restitched the whole thing.
Yeah.
Into another one.
So I am...
And you've got a super turbo, a mirror, a K-truck.
And another car we haven't spoken about yet.
That one we haven't spoken about yet. And now you're saying they're not about performance.
They're not.
And you're the little car man.
Exactly, because I'm qualified to tell you this is not a performance vehicle.
I never said it was not performance.
No one ever bought it as a performance vehicle.
So they make a GTI version that's fast.
This is the little control arm rear bush. You can buy replacement ones that are harder, made of less compliant rubber or polyurethane or whatever. You can buy ones that have offset holes like that allow you to have some adjustment for caster, which is actually pretty cool because otherwise you get, what adjustment do you get on this? Nothing, toe, that's it. So this gives you a little bit more adjustment. You can slap that in and that's all you need. You can use a bush removal tool or you can press it in or out. The control arm's all separate to everything else we've done. So the good thing is that you can just whip it off, press this in and put it back on and then go get an alignment.
The great thing about small economical city cars like this is that you can buy the whole car and all of the modifications for less than the price of a brake upgrade on a more expensive car. Now you're not going to win any drag races and you'll probably be lapped by someone in a Honda Civic who's laughing at you out the window at the next track day, but I can guarantee that you'll be having more fun. Well, actually, maybe you won't be having more fun, but you're going to be having fun for a fraction of the cost of other people at the track day. And for one day's work, we've gone from this to this, which I think is pretty epic for just a few hours work and some cheap modifications. To celebrate the first day of our build done and our first stage completed, I'm throwing on this special edition sticker, which you can get from the Mighty Car Mods online store. And the last thing to do is remove the rubber mats that the previous owner had and put in some brand new carpet mats that I bought off eBay. And that is stage 1 done.
Today we modified this car. It went a little bit slower than I thought, actually. Not the car, but the process of modifying it. There was a few other little things to do, but there's also some things that are still in the mail that are on their way over, Martin, from Romania.
Romania. Do you know like some of these bits are from Slovakia?
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, so today we got like the service
cool.
done. We got the Brembo brakes on. We got the lowering springs on. We got the wheels and the tyres. Painted these black.
Full
Got
service.
our mad little sticker on the back.
Fixed a bit of rust.
Yeah, and just kind of lubed things up. There is more to go, but that is it for the day. We are done for the day. I think it looks awesome. The tyres are chunky. The wheels are cool. We didn't put on these little things because they look a bit
I'm not into
like
it.
that. That
I'm not
doesn't
into
look good. Do you people agree? I don't care if you don't agree or not. Look, shit.
I don't rate it.
Anyway, so there it is. So we are going to be seeing some more of this because there are more things to do once they arrive in the mail. So thank you very much for watching. If you want to get some merch to help support the show, you can get that from mightycarmods.com, including our mad stickers, including that one back
And
there.
we'll send it up to you.
All right, mate. Oh,
Sorry, I can't help it.
yeah.
It just keeps flowing out of me.
Isn't there a song, Moving On Up?
Yeah, that one.
Something?
That's your theme song now in this car.
This car needs a name. I would love it if the name integrated up. Whether up is part of a word or whether it's the front of the word or the end of a word or a small phrase. And the prize will be the up. No.
No.
The prize
Loves it too much.
will be a Cheryl's box.
Yes.
Which is a mystery box full of awesome stuff that we sell on our shop. You'll get a Cheryl's box.
Sounds good.
So leave a comment below what you believe the car should be called. We'll have a look, we'll find the best one, we'll message you, and then we'll send you some free stuff.
Just
That's a
as
pretty good
functional
deal.
as it was 7 or 8 hours ago, except now it looks mad, and
Yes.
it's all serviced, and it's got new brakes, and it'll actually stop.
And according to the packaging on the performance air filter, I think increased power.
Ooh. We should go and sample it once the paint dries on the mirrors.
Yeah. All right. All right. Thank you very much, everybody. Thank you for watching. That is the Up project. And there will be a challenger to this car, of course.
That's mad.
Won't there, Martin?
Of course there will. Of course there will. It's so good.
I'm
I'm
pretty
good.
excited.
It's the best thing ever.